Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm hopeful that you guys can all hear me because it's a little breezy out here because it's Sunday morning and I don't want to disturb my family because they're all kind of doing some quiet things inside and I'm going to be coming out here talking. So I have something to talk to you about. So over this last week I was at summer camp and I came back and I learned that Scarlet passed away on Monday. So I just want to make a little memory video of Scarlet because I'm going to start crying, because she was one of my favorite chickens. I would have never thought that she would be so special, but I think it was back in March or April. It was one of the two. She got sick and I had her inside of my garage, and then, well, back in January actually the bond kind of started because that's when she got her name, and she had lost a bunch of her feathers, and so I had to have her inside for a month so that she could regrow her feathers. She was beautiful just after 2 weeks, so I put her back outside and she lived happily outside for the rest of the winter until I think it was April. So she went outside until it was April, and then she got sick again. Well, no, she hadn't been sick before that. She got sick, so I had her back in the garage, and she was in there for a month before I noticed signs of her getting better, and she was starting to talk to me, and she was starting to feel a lot more at home and happy. So that's when I started bringing her in and outside in her little, I don't know what it was. It was just a little cage area thing. It wasn't too big. It was just big enough for her because she still wasn't feeling quite as well. And then at the very end of April, I moved her into the coop storage room. And there she was so happy. She loved it in there. She would walk around. I gave her lots of fruits and vegetables, and there was one day I spent I think it was at least an hour just in there petting her and talking to her, giving her all sorts of treats and fruits. She loved it, and well, that was after I tried to put her back into the pen, but she got rejected from the flock, so she wasn't welcomed into the coop anymore because she would just get attacked. Like, groups of hens would just be chasing her. Oh, Hazel's on the fence. She's going into the big pen. But anyway, so she would just be getting attacked, and she would run under the coop, or I would go and save her because she was in danger, and I would save her. So I'd grab her and shoo all the hens away. The one day that I realized that we had a true bond was the day that I let her out. And that was the last time I let her out with the hens because I was just like, I'm not doing this again. Because she got chased and pecked, and she ran under the coop because I had her free range. And so I looked under, so I decided that I was gonna look under there, and I just stretched out my hand to her. And I was just like, come here, Scarlet. And she stood up and she started walking toward me. And she came out clucking. She was just like, I could just tell that she was thankful for me. And so after that, I spent a lot of time with her, just treating her well, giving her all sorts of fruits and vegetables. My silkies are roaming in the background. I think they are going very crazy. I will be right back. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with them, so excuse them if you can hear them in the background. She knew that I was her protector, the one who would care for her if she got attacked and stuff like that. So every day I would come in, she would just greet me at the door with thankful clucks, and she would eat happily out of my hand. And then I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, I made her a pen around one of the trees in my yard so that she could be more, so that then I could let her outside without the fear of the hens finding her and pecking her, and without her having a small area outside. So she had this decent sized pen, It was in the shade, it was in the sun. She had a tree, it was in a hollow tree so that she could just walk right in and out of it if she wanted to. It was the perfect environment for her. She loved it. She was so happy every time I took her out there. And I would sprinkle scratch grains and oats and hide mulberries all over it, and she would love to forage for them. And she was doing so well, and she was so happy there, and I was positive that she was going to get better and then I would be able to put her back in the pen. I even gave her a friend because there was another hen that I noticed was kind of at the bottom of the pecking order. So I figured that she wouldn't take chances and peck Scarlet. So I put her in, her name is Jenna. I put her in with Scarlet, and the two of them just became best friends, and they were so happy together. And then I think that I stopped putting Jenna in for just a couple days because I wanted Scarlet to just have a little time on her own with me. So I spent a little bit of time with her each day, and she was very, very happy. And then Sunday morning, I greeted her at the door. Everything was normal. I said hello to her. I gave her fruits and vegetables, and then I don't remember when I left for summer camp. It was Sunday. I know it was Sunday. I don't know what time it was, but I stood in the doorway and I said, "Scarlet, I'll see you when I get back." And she clucked at me and walked a couple steps forward, and I closed the door, and that was the last time I ever saw her. She was so normal, and then the very next day, my mom said that she went in there to check on her, and she was lying on the coop floor. So I'm at least glad that she died happy, hopefully. It could have been just because she was sick for too long, but I'm surprised she hadn't died before that. I buried a picture of her and two of her favorite snacks inside her pen, and then covered her up. Then I placed some beautiful yellow flowers that I had found on top of her grave. Then I started drawing a fashion of Scarlet. So fashions are chickens that I like to draw. They're not realistic, but every one of my favorite chickens that has passed away has a fashion, so I like to draw them in memory of the chicken. And it's just something that I can look back on and remember the chicken by. Once I was finished drawing the picture, I put her into my fashion folder for safekeeping, and then I also added a few of her feathers for extra memory. After that, I laminated a couple pictures of her. I also had a few others that I had drawn because I don't want to waste laminating paper. And thankfully, both of the pictures of Scarlet came out safely. I was a little concerned about the one with the feather in it. And then I cut her picture and memory card out. This is the memory card I made for my friend's mom, who named her just as a little gift because she really liked Scarlet, but unfortunately never got to meet her. Then I placed the picture of Scarlet on my chicken tree in my room with all the other chickens that were my favorite and passed away. So it's just another way that I just can look at them when I'm going to bed and remember the chicken.